Quotes House presents surprising facts about anxiety. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, ADAA, anxiety disorders are the most common mental health conditions affecting 40 million Americans. However, anxiety is currently a popular buzzword, with many people misunderstanding many facts about anxiety. But did you know anxiety can be a good thing? Did you know anxiety, like many difficult emotions? Number 1. Anxiety can be genetic. Why do some survive traumatic events and come through seemingly unscathed, and yet others develop anxiety disorders like PTSD, panic disorder, and generalized anxiety disorder? One thing is certain: anxiety disorders and anxious temperaments seem to run in families. Studies also show that individuals who are genetically predisposed to anxiety are at a higher risk of developing anxiety after exposure to traumatic or stressful events. Number 2. Anxiety and depression are linked. Anxiety is often a cause or a trigger of depression. Research indicates women who have generalized anxiety disorder are at an increased risk for developing depression. People with chronic depression often develop symptoms of anxiety as a result of the mental exhaustion of depression. The same is true for sufferers of chronic anxiety. For example, people who struggle with social anxiety disorder often develop depressive symptoms as a result of lifestyle choices made in order to accommodate the symptoms of social anxiety disorder, such as avoiding others in public places. Number 3. Anxiety can cause physical symptoms. Most people know that anxiety causes difficulty focusing and concentrating, restlessness, irritability, and frustration. However, few people realize that anxiety causes serious physical problems like weakness, shortness of breath, rapid heart rate, nausea, hot flashes, and dizziness. People experiencing a panic attack often end up in the ER believing they are having a heart attack. Number 4. Exercise can reduce anxiety. Anxiety is the body's fight or flight response in full swing. When there is nothing to fight and nothing to flee, the stress hormones that are surging around have nowhere to go, so they build up, bringing with them the physical symptoms of anxiety. Physical activity is the natural end to the fight or flight response. Exercise helps to balance out the neurochemicals that contribute to anxiety. Number 5. Anxiety can confuse the sense of smell. Research published in the Journal of Neuroscience found that people with anxiety have a greater tendency to label neutral smells as bad smells. Typically, when processing smells, it's only the olfactory, smelling system that gets activated. When a person becomes anxious, the emotional system becomes intertwined with the olfactory processing system. Number 6. Anxiety can cause cold hands and feet. Have you ever wondered why your hands and feet sometimes feel cold to the touch? Did you know that it could be the result of anxiety? When we feel anxious, the flight or fight response kicks in. When this occurs, blood flow is redirected from your extremities, such as your hands and feet, and towards the torso and vital organs. This creates the feeling of cold in your hands and feet. Number 7. Anxiety can cause anger. A common, but lesser-known side effect of anxiety is anger. When we feel powerless over a situation, or our life is out of our control, expressing anger is a natural way to feel a sense of control. It's much easier to externalize the conflict rather than acknowledge the real issue and deal with it. Additionally, with chronic sufferers of anxiety, depression sometimes develops. Number 8. Anxiety can cause memory problems. Because individuals who suffer from anxiety often struggle to stay in the present moment, it makes them often forgetful. People who suffer from generalized anxiety disorder struggle with worry and an inability to control the worry. When we worry, it's often about something that hasn't happened yet, meaning we are thinking in the future, where problems may occur.
This is why people who suffer from anxiety often appear like they're distracted, not listening, or they just don't care. Number 9. Anxiety widens personal space. Everybody has an invisible zone of personal space around them. The closer we are to someone, the further they are allowed into our personal space zone. The preferred personal space zone differs for everyone, but generally it's about 20 to 40 centimeters away from our face. Closer than that and we're stepping back. If you tend towards anxiety, your personal space bubble is likely to be wider. Number 10. Women are twice as likely as men to develop an anxiety disorder. According to the UDA, from the time a girl reaches puberty to the age of 50, she is twice as more likely to develop an anxiety disorder as a man. A woman's fight or flight response is more easily activated and stays activated longer than a man's, partly due to progesterone and estrogen. There's also evidence to suggest that the female brain does not process serotonin as quickly as the male brain, and they are more sensitive to low levels of corticotropin-releasing factor, CRF, a hormone that organizes stress responses in mammals.